Hey everyone, welcome back to AMZ Affiliate Bootcamp. Now, this lesson, lesson 3, is important because it's all about the best way to improve your site's ranking and get more organic traffic by using a link building outreach strategy. Inbound links are still at the top of Google's ranking systems, so the more links that your site gets, the higher you appear in search results and the more people will visit your sites. Now, there are 3 basic ways to get inbound links. There are natural links, manual outreach links, and self-created links. Now let's talk about each in turn. First off, we have natural links. By SEO standards, the best way to get a link is to have another site owner or writer mention your content and include a link to your page. We call this a natural link because it's unsolicited. A writer or a site owner finds your content while researching a topic and they decide it's so awesome and helpful and informative that they want to refer their readers to your original post. It's like giving an attribution or a footnote in the appendix of a book, for example. The main problem is you have very little control over this type of link building aside from just making really good content. So the core part of this is purely writing or buying, if you're outsourcing it, high quality content that people just find helpful. And you can even do some promoting of your content that might get other people to notice you in your niche, but generally you never really know if or when you'll get a new natural link until you suddenly see a surge of traffic because Forbes just linked to you. It's just something which will arise as a byproduct of the long-term creation and promotion of high-quality content. Now let's talk about the second category, outreach link building. To Google, these links look just like natural links, so they'll also be increasing your site's rank and get you more visitors from searches. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, you never know till you ask, right? Well, you're going to learn to ask for links and master the process of reaching out and building the relationships required to build your links and by extension, your SEO and your website traffic. This strategy involves manually contacting website owners and bloggers in your industry via emails or social media and asking them to link to you. We're about to go deep into the process of manual outreach, but first we have one more type of link to talk about. The third category of links are self-created links. This is what we talked about in lesson 2. This is the black or gray hat SEO methods of making your own links via private blog networks or link farms or buying links from people with these kinds of networks. The list of tactics for getting self-created links shrinks or grow according to the hacks the SEO guys discover and then Google usually patches to fix, but basically they include things like spam blog commenting, which again, if you've had a site of your own, you've probably seen tons of this, like literally hundreds overnight sometimes from people spamming your blog. There's press releases, there's article directories, most famous of which is ezine articles. You've got blog networks, you've got user profiles and forums and social media groups, and you've got signatures and emails, signatures and blog comments and forums, things like that. Some of these might actually still work for some sites, but we're actually much better off in the long run using our time, effort, and resources building legitimate links with good quality content. It'll always work, and there's no risk of getting a penalty to your site, which can literally destroy your business overnight. So why do we teach manual outreach link building? Really, the simple reason is because it works. It works for us now, it'll work for you, and it'll always work. As you can see from this screenshot of a site we started less than a year ago, we went from 0 traffic to over 3,000 daily visitors, and by the way, that's over 1 million per year, and all this is done mostly by manual link building. Over 80% of these visitors come from new searches, and we earn the links and the ranking that brings new traffic with valuable content and relationships in our marketplace. What we love the most about outreach link building is that everything is based on value. The more value you can create or deliver, the more high quality links you can earn. And the main point is that the links are earned, not bought or built. You'll also never have to worry about getting caught by Google, right? SEO people, especially the black hat ones, often talk about getting caught by Google or, being sneaky around what Google's doing. But with this method, there's actually nothing to catch. Google actually loves these types of sites because the real people who use their search engine and visit our site are happy with what they find, right? They find the information that they're looking for. It's good quality information. That's actually what Google's designed to help people do, is find that kind of information. And so we never have to worry about losing our ranking because our SEO tactic doesn't work anymore. In fact, Google will love you and actually reward you with every new update that they do. I could actually go on and on about how great this strategy is, especially compared to the more black hat stuff, but I'd rather just teach you how to get started getting these kinds of results for your own Amazon affiliate site instead. So here are the 7 steps to an effective manual outreach link building system. The first one is tactic selection. And then you've got prospecting, filtering, pre-outreach, outreach, follow-up, and finally relationship nurturing. First off, let's talk about tactic selection. This is where you're going to choose a method to create value for the site owners that you'll be contacting. I'm going to be teaching you 4 major tactics in this course. And those include guest posting, which means providing free, awesome content for other people's websites. Using top experts, which means featuring other site owners on your site alongside other industry experts. Third, we've got epic content, which is a sample of a great piece of content that other people's audience would love to read. And finally, we have guestographics or guest infographics, which are basically visually appealing graphics that you can create and offer to other people as another type of guest post. And they're particularly catchy. The second step in this process is prospecting, which means locating potential site owners for your outreach. The third step is filtering, and in this step, you'll begin to research and find a list of relevant targets that might be interested in what you have to offer. Fourth, we have pre-outreach, and this is actually an essential step that's often overlooked, and it's going to give you a much higher success rate with your outreach campaign. In this step, you build initial rapport with prospects by following them on social media, sharing their posts, or leaving comments on their sites. After pre-outreach, we have outreach. Once you've had a few interactions with your targets on social media or commenting on their blog, it's time to send the first email to pitch your guest post ideas or share your awesome piece of content. If they reply positively and agree to link to you or accept your guest post at this point, then congratulations. You can actually skip some of the next steps and just go straight to relationship nurturing. But if they don't go for it immediately, the 6th step is the follow-up. So not all of your prospects will reply to your first email. So it's a good practice to always follow up to increase the overall response rate. Even if they say no to your first request, you can be nice. And even if they say no to your request, be nice and thank them for their time. You can also ask for their feedback so they can help you make your site better as well. Finally, to finish off the process, we have relationship nurturing. Most people stop after getting what they want and never talk to the person again who just gave them a link. Don't do this. Continuing to develop good relationships with people in your niche, especially those who like you and support you, could bring you a lot more opportunities that you would never think of in the first place. By the way, I hope you're taking good notes because you're going to want to start implementing this system soon. But we've got a couple other things to do first before we move ahead with your new outreach campaign. So let's talk about how to be successful with your outreach link building campaign. There are 3 main things that basically I want you to keep in mind as we begin our outreach campaigns to get you off on the right foot. The first thing you need to do really is make sure you have a really high quality website. If your site looks bad, then of course people aren't going to be nearly as interested in getting back to you, but a well-designed website with high quality content will make you more reputable and will encourage people to be more likely to link to you. They'll think that you're an authority and have more confidence because they're directing their audience to you, right? And so if they're confident that you're a reputable brand, then they'll be more comfortable doing so. The second thing to think about is to make sure you always personalize your outreach email. The biggest mistake that we've seen is that people don't spend just a little bit of extra time to personalize those outreach emails. It just looks like a template and people ignore it. So when I say personalized, just replacing the name or the dear blank, just replacing that with the person's name is not enough. It's too easy to customize that with templates. So our best recommendation would be to actually visit your prospects' websites and social media profiles and collect more information about them. do some cyber stalking to get some useful information to make your emails personable. And then you can use that data to craft more personalized emails and make it obvious that you're not using a template to blast everyone randomly all over the internet. Do that, and I guarantee you that your success rate will be significantly higher. And finally, the third main thing to refine this strategy is to ask for a share. Don't actually ask for a link, even though that's what you're ultimately going for. This is a really cool tip that we learned from our friend Chris at rankxl.com. He found that asking for a share has a much higher success rate than asking for a link directly. Most people nowadays are aware of SEO and they know that you want a link, but asking for a share is much less aggressive, right? If you're like, hey, random person, link to me, right? But if you say, hey, share my post, right? Social media is a lower barrier ask. And so this is going to likely increase your overall success rate. And there's a good chance it'll give you what you want anyways. And even if it doesn't, there's still a really good chance that you get a social share. Okay, so that's the overview of the link building process that you're going to be using. And the next lesson will show you how to create your 5-month link building plan for your new site. And then in the rest of this module, we'll get into the specifics of each of the 4 tactics for building links, ranking better, and growing your traffic.